Good evening. My name is Dennis Franks, and tonight I am going to have the pleasure to talk to you about health being wealth and really take you through an interesting time over the next 40 minutes in talking about what is health, what is wellness, what are the important things that we need to know, what are some things that we can put in our path. I'm going to share with you a little bit about my story. Then we're going to talk a little bit about how everything has evolved in the lives of people that I've worked with over the last 3 decades. And I think one of the most exciting things that you'll take away tonight is you're going to take away a lot of great information for conversation and consideration. And when I say that, I'm hoping that each of you, whether you be one of my customers or basically an unfranchised owner, feel comfortable in sharing this with friends. Because we are going to talk about things that are relevant for all of us to consider as we move forward in life and maximize everything that we have to be grateful for and what we can accomplish. So tonight is an exciting night. And when I say this, we are going to talk about health and wealth and that the fact that your health is your wealth, and I hope that you enjoy where we go with what we have to talk about. You know, there are 2 things in this title that are both very relevant and very important. And quite frankly, I think everybody wants both of them, both health and wealth. And I think you can probably agree to that. But everything begins with, in this crazy world where almost anything is possible, why do people bypass the simplest things like health, choosing the easier way to go, and then go after the hardest thing in wealth? You know, it's amazing. I guess in life we're measured on the dollars that we accumulate, but in reality, you know, when you think about wealth, what's it all about? And we're going to talk about that. But I want to start with some of the things that are happening. Why is it, and the main reason is unlike anything else with health? You know, a car with a flat tire can't go. A guitar with a broken string doesn't play well. A boat with no propeller goes nowhere. But our bodies will continue to work even when there is something wrong. And in this example right here, you see an individual who wants to be active again, and he's pushing himself, and he may have over time not been taking the very best care of himself. And before you know it, it goes beyond the point where there's something wrong to where it breaks down the majority of what is right, and the entire system no longer works. And before you know it, something that we're not looking forward to happens to us based on the way that we've treated ourselves over not days or months, but years. And so it creeps up on us, and we always wonder why, you know, and I want to talk about that. Today, I want to begin with health, because everything begins with health, and people often refer to health as wellness. But when I really equate it in life, health is about performance. Wellness is about performance, because every day we're judged on how well we perform. And if you only knew if you think about this, think about the best day, feeling great, hair's going right, you're energetic, not a pain in the world that you have, everything's going right, and your performance is at the very top of the scale. And then think about the days that aren't going so well. It's rainy out, your joints are hurting, you know, performance is not where it should be, and even your mental attitude is not where it can be. So when we define health, we think about a state of being free from illness or injury. It's a condition of well-being, free from disease. I mean, a lot of people interpret health in different ways. It could be a person's mental or physical condition. So it's equated with many things on the overall feel of what we have. But wellness, when I separate it, it really comes down to the quality or state of being healthy in body and mind, especially as a result of a deliberate effort. And what my hopes are with this presentation tonight is that you'll take the time to make some deliberate efforts in your life to change things, how your health and wellness can grow to a point to where your performance is at its highest level. So let's talk about targeting health. You know, when you start targeting health, there are so many areas we have to basically consider. You know, antioxidant protection. You know, people don't realize we're constantly bombarding our bodies with things that we eat, with the environment. There are so many things that just come to our way that our bodies take care of. Even breathing, we have to be concerned with the oxidation that happens. But our body is equipped to that, and that's why we got to keep it healthy. Vitamin and mineral intake, the immune system's very much a topic to be concerned with today, because people with healthy immune systems have been very good in fighting off these viruses that have been plaguing us. Bone, joint, and muscle health. It's important for mobility and flexibility that we have. The maintenance of your eyes. I think vision is something that we very much need throughout our lives. And so many of us, as we age, we tend to have less of better vision, and we have to be more concerned about that earlier on. How do we manage stress and anxiety? Stress has a bunch of different effects on us, as well as our digestive health. And if you believe that good health begins in the gut, and the immune system also is very much coordinated with your gut health. How about blood sugar functions? You know, do you know somebody with high blood sugar levels? Do you know anybody that's evolved into adult onset diabetes? And overall health and well-being are always the concern of so many of us as we go through life. But targeting wellness is a little bit different. You know, we can talk about it physical with regular exercise, but I think the physical part also is in food selection and even in the water that we consume on a regular basis. It's basically social, based on contributions to the community around you, of what they give to you and what you give back. Intellectual, constantly stimulating your mind. Spiritual, the development of belief systems and emotions, self-esteem, the sense of direction and occupation, the enrichment, the fulfillment of doing something that you can engage with. What's really surprising to me, more than 50% of the people that work today are working in jobs that they're really not passionate about. I truly wish that people could become more passionate about what they do, and I hope that for all of you. But when we start thinking of wellness as it compares to health, it's a conscious, self-directed, evolving process to achieve full potential. So again, my life, and I hope your life, is all about the way that we can perform on your expectations of what you do on a daily basis. Applying a wellness approach can be useful in the very environment that you live in every human endeavor that you make. And it's important that you think about that. Now, wellness focus today, there's a lot of people today you see exercising. They're eating a little bit more consciously on which food selections. They're thinking about strength and vitality, as well as personal responsibility, self-care, and medical attention. All of these things, people are into that. Why? It's just as well to be into taking care of yourself as it is to watching the next Netflix special, you know. So really think about what's important to it, because all of a sudden, as we saw in the slides earlier, that you may be thinking you're okay, then all of a sudden there's a breakdown, and it's something that we don't want to deal with. So think about this, 80% or more in healthcare spending is tied to the treatment of conditions rooted to poor lifestyle choices. Ladies and gentlemen, this is very important for you to understand, because the more passes you give to yourself, the more reasons that healthcare may be looking for you based on poor lifestyle choices. Now, some of the most common chronic diseases and conditions that are preventable are things like hypertension and heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, obesity, osteoporosis, and even certain types of cancers. Wow, chronic diseases, conditions that could be preventable? Yes, because your body has to continue to take care of itself. Remember how we started that, you know, unlike a car with a flat tire or a guitar with a broken string, your body can perform on not running full speed, but it can perform on running while it's hurting in other places. But apparently it's going to break down. So you got to take the responsibility and understand the risk of the most chronic diseases, as we talked about. And I also think it's important that you understand the difference between chronic and acute, because to me, people don't understand when we talk about a chronic disease, it's something that lasts a longer period of time, at least 3 months or beyond. And a lot of times it's that persistence of that long-term aggravation that wears you down. And then when we start talking about something that's more acute, these are things like maybe appendicitis, something that needs immediate attention. You know, these are things that are happening now and they can't wait. You got to deal with them. And so there's a big difference. So the chronic type is something that builds up and lasts a long time. An acute type is just a breakdown in the systems and you got to deal with very quickly. So what are other things that we can talk about in wellness recommendations? Well, I think you need to drink 8 to 9 glasses of water daily. The one thing that I do now, especially working from home more frequently with our current unprecedented times, I've got more water that I'm drinking than I've ever drank in my life. I keep a gallon jug of water right by my desk. Physical activities, I work really hard, not only to work 30 to 45 minutes, 3 to 6 times a week. I want to do that every day. Why? Because your body needs to move. Sitting is not the best thing for us. It's not the way we were built for. We were built to be up and moving. Indulge in alcohol sparingly, 8 to 12 servings over a week. Let me recommend that you spread them out over a week and not at one sitting. You'll be far better off. And of course, supplementation is important in what we do. All right, so let's talk a little bit about supplementation. Let's talk about what everybody should be taking in some form. I don't care what brand. I'm going to use the brands I take because I think over the years I've done pretty well staying at my top of my game, So the first thing that I want to talk about are the non-negotiable 3. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've been taking a multiple vitamin since 1971. That's back in the 20th century for those millennials that are viewing in tonight. Yeah, I know it's the 21st century. I've also been taking a super antioxidant since 1993 called OPC, which is a natural bioflavonoid, comes from grape seed, grape skin, and French maritime bark out of France. That's called pycnogenol. It has some bilberry extracts and biocitrus flavonoids, and it does a lot of great things for your body and a wonderful omega-3. And it's very important that when we talk about omega-3s, that we have the right consistency of EPA and DHA, usually 3-to-2 ratio. In this omega-3, I love it because it's 3 grams of fish oil. It's basically got 900 milligrams of eicosapentaenoic acid, which is EPA, and then the DHA has 600 milligrams. And it comes from the smallest of fish, of anchovies and sardines, and there's over 200 points of quality assurance in this omega-3. I stand by it. It's a great, great product. So to me, these are non-negotiable. These are the things that you want to take at a minimum. Now, if you want to go to a basic 5 of nutrition, I would add vitamin D with K2. And this is really important because this vitamin D is active, so your body can utilize it very quickly. And don't confuse the K2 with the K1. The K2 is something that your body uses from a cardio side and a bone metabolism side. That's wonderful. And our B complex, I love the B's, you got to take them all together. The thiamine and riboflavin, the niacin, the B6, the B12, the folic acid, the pantothenic acid, all of that mixed together makes it best. But what I like about this B vitamin is that it basically has active bees. So your body doesn't have to work, so they get to use it very quickly as it enters into your system. Add it to a very exclusive delivery system in what is known as an isotonic capable solution, which is the same body fluid, same osmotic pressure or fluid pressure as your own body fluids, goes through the stomach on an empty stomach and into the system very quickly. It's wonderful. It's delivering 95% of your nutritional content. So I love these basic 5. Now, for those of you that want to go a little bit further, and believe me, everybody has a different level on how they want to approach health and wellness. So you can stop with the non-negotiable 3, you can stop with the basic 5, or if you're a little bit sassy, you can move to the sexy 7. And when we talk about the sexy 7, we're adding probiotics and we're adding fiber. 2 very important things that we can take to give our guts, our digestive system, a lot of help in staying healthy. And remember, I said it earlier, you know, good health begins in the gut. And so with our probiotics 10, we have 10 different strains of probiotics that's in that product, as well as in our fiber, it's combined with additional probiotics and prebiotics. So again, fiber, you should be taking anywhere between 25 and 35 grams a day. Everybody's a little bit different, but I shoot for 30, and this is a great way to do it. So this would be what we would call our sexy 7. And now, if you want to move to the ultimate, you want to go to the essential 9, we'd add magnesium and we'd add coenzyme Q10. Now, again, when I start talking about magnesium, it is a mineral. It's one of the most popular ones in our body, but it works with over 300 different body functions. And if you start thinking about this, you don't want to go very long without it. It's a very big part of the way that we put together proteins in our body, and it also works with nerves and keeps our body temperature right. It's an important mineral that we miss out on. It should be taken. The other thing is coenzyme Q10, and if you understand how energy works in the middle of the cell, that's where you actually start all of your energy that's happening. Coenzyme Q10 is the igniter that you have that you need. Now, your body produces coenzyme Q10, but as we age, it produces less, and it's a good idea to add to it. Now, there are opportunities, and you can ask the person that invited you to this tonight to make a custom formula to fit 6 of these in an isotonic capable product that has your name on the container. It's pretty cool. Ask them about our customized vitamin program. If not, work off each of the individuals. Each serving, you put 2 ounces of water. So in this case, there are 6 different isotonic capable products. And so you would add 12 ounces of water and enjoy a very good tasting nutritional drink. Now, where do we get quality foods? Because supplementation is just part of it that supports, you know, good foods. And good foods, we like to recommend that you buy local when you can. And when you go into the grocery store, just remember the outside. You know, if you shop the outside, you're going to get the best products and the best quality foods 90% of the time. So remember that. And when you think you are eating healthy, remember a couple things. Don't eat too fast. It's not a race, remember that. And don't eat when you're angry or bored. That'll get you in trouble, because I don't know about you, but I've seen it happen way too many times. And when you eat, make sure you can taste it, savor the food that you bring in. I think it's really important that you remember that. And if you're thinking about what is healthy eating, well, if you ever want to hit optimal wellness, you're going to have to eat better, okay? And so often people eat the wrong foods, the wrong time of day, and the wrong amounts. It's just absolutely crazy in what we do to ourselves. You know, and you can look at it, you know, this is like, you know, suicide for me when I was younger. If I went to a buffet as big as the plate, I would fill it up. And I had to get away from late night pizza and beer parties. And then ultimately I started reading labels. That's what it's all about. What are you putting into yourself on a regular basis? So, did you know that foods can heal us physically? That's correct. In fact, food has had more scientific documentation on how it addresses different challenges we have, that there is now even a lifestyle medicine that has evolved. And it's been really great because we've had the opportunity to work with the actual fellows from the lifestyle medicine group that started this. And it's basically an evidence-based lifestyle therapeutic approach, predominantly using whole food and plant-based diet, exercise, stress management, tobacco and alcohol cessation, as well as non-drug modalities to prevent, treat, and oftentimes reverse the lifestyle-related chronic diseases that are all too prevalent. So what they literally have done is took a natural approach to getting people healthy. So these are the basic components in lifestyle medicine. If you want to look into it more, it's really quite unique and it makes so much sense. I've seen so many people evolve doing this approach to health and wellness. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about my story. Some of you who know me know I have a background, going to school at the University of Michigan and then going into professional football. And quite frankly, I had the opportunity to play. This was my office coming out of college at Veterans Stadium with the Philadelphia Eagles. It was a great career. This is a picture of what I look like coming out of college. Based on that, you know, it evolved. I became a bigger guy. This is me back in the 70s. I'm the handsome guy on the left, the large one with the other gentleman on the pictures there. That's my dad to the right. But bottom line was I got to be a pretty big boy. And then this was my final year, my 5th year playing with the Detroit Lions. You can tell that I continued to grow by the picture, and this is where my office moved to back in '80 with the Silverdome with the Detroit Lions. It was an amazing opportunity for me, but you know, all of this evolved into something of a story that made a big difference. Let me just quick summarize this for you. In my life, I needed a change. There was a very hard transition from professional sports into the reality of life versus being in the National Football League. Community, why I embrace lifestyle medicine so much, community made a huge impact on me because they continued to support me as I left football. Well, basically, the people that were important in my life helped me recognize that I needed to help myself, and the journey to wellness began. And you need to understand, after I left football, I left it at about 295 pounds. There was a study done that the average lifespan of an offensive lineman in the National Football League was age 53. And now I was at the ripe old age of 30, and I needed to be aware that that was just 23 years away. So the wellness journey needed to begin. And then through that effort, I had the success, and today helping other people really created my life's work that led to the wealth that my family and I enjoy today. So I just want to talk to you a little bit about this storyline. Where did I start the journey? Well, everybody needs to know there's always a decision to make before you start any journey. And when I decided to start the journey, it was basically to get healthy and get to a better weight than 295 pounds. And so now I started with what they call a detox, okay? And if you've never done a detox, what it is real simple. It's basically removing toxins from your body. It's a good way to help slow down or prevent chronic diseases, and it enhances the immune system. It slows premature aging, and it improves the quality of life. I mean, those are all positive things. And this was a food detox and cleansing with a lot of food you can eat, and raw foods, in fact. It also is supposed to increase energy, improve your skin quality, mental and emotional clarity, restores balance to your body systems. You lose weight. It's a great way to kickstart. In fact, going through this 7-day detox, I was so inspired with that initial weight loss of nearly 10 pounds in 7 days. I wanted to move forward and to lose another 50 pounds. And quite frankly, it was amazing. When I studied more about this whole concept of weight loss, it wasn't magic, it was just science. And basically there were some fundamental tenets of losing weight that science backed. And that basically was low glycemic impact eating, body composition, getting the right percentages of fat to muscle, and making sure your metabolism is working, the right supplements to keep it going. And again, I've continued to take supplements since the 70s, but there was more supplements that were available to help me in the process, and it needed more education. So I kept seeing people doing the wrong things, food choices going out the window, not very active, a lot of screen time that's happening. You all know it. But then I started seeing more people taking more care of themselves, wanting to get healthy, people overweight taking action with the support from someone who cares. Now, understand this, that was my story. If it wasn't for the people around me who moved me in this direction, I would not be the person and in the health that I am today without that kind of support. So it was really important to me as it went along. So the Transitions Lifestyle Solution is for everyone. And this really puts those 4 components together. It's the most customizable weight loss program available today. Remember what I said, it's science, it's not magic. So if we understand that, we understand, again, low glycemic impact eating is nothing new. It's been around for over 40 years, but what it does is keep us in it helps us maintain a stable blood sugar level, okay, which keeps us burning fat for energy. Body composition. It's important. We have to focus on fat loss and not muscle. We need to make sure our metabolism stays up. Science-based supplementation. I've learned that there were things that could really help you based on what your challenges were. And of course, education was critical in what I went through in making the long-term decision and lifestyle changes that really 30 years later, I'm still at the weight that I got to. I mean, I'm 230 pounds. Folks, that's big to a lot of people, but the bottom line, this is my high school weight, if you can imagine that. Okay, so again, when you start thinking about it, good things have happened. So what does low glycemic impact eating do for you? It basically levels your blood sugar level so you are in a fat burning zone. When you fall off, eat some cakes and pastas or breads, you're basically going up in the amount of sugar that you have. And so you release a hormone called insulin that brings down that blood sugar level, usually to levels where you're not as energetic anymore. And so what you have to do is you go back more to a balanced diet, to low to medium glycemic index food, and before you know it, you're back to fat burning. Okay, so we want to keep you in that fat burning zone to be most effective in what you do. It's the new healthy you. It's the trip to wellness. Okay, one of the things that I want to talk to you about are some of the products that I thought were great. Some people have issues with carbohydrate, taking in too much. That tends to be very much people that are overweight eat way too many simple carbohydrates, breads, pastas, cakes, cookies, you name it, you've got to watch that. So the TLS core fat and carb inhibitor works there. If you have a metabolism that's been slowed down by the number of diets that you've been on in your life, you may want to use the thermochrome or our green coffee product, ones with caffeine, ones with not. If you're working on specific fat areas, hips, thighs, belly fat, areas where the visceral fat is. There's another area, the CLA, conjugate linoleic acid, and then you have your stress eaters And when you're stressed out too much, you strain your adrenal glands. So there's something to help you not be so stressful while basically keeping cortisol levels at healthy levels. And then we even have another way you can do that by controlling your carbs, by taking a product called Trim Tea or Trim Cafe, which has a tremendous amount of benefit in giving you satiety, the feeling of fullness as it curbs your appetite. And that's another way you can look at it. But the thing that really saved me was the nutrition shakes. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you, you don't want to skip meals. Not eating is not the way to lose weight. You have to eat to lose weight effectively. And even when you're not eating, but you need something, it's good to get an engineered food. Now, I say engineered food because it's a perfect food. It's primarily got your high-grade essential amino acids with protein. It has fiber, it has vitamins, it has minerals, and it tastes good. What else could you want? These shakes were critical in my success and continue to help me in my lifestyle because I include 1 or 2 daily in my life still. So it's pretty cool. Now, again, if you're going to be successful in life, you have to remember that you should have purpose, correct? Every champion has a cause. Every person that ever has succeeded had a purpose. So look at the mission of the Transitions Lifestyle System. We empower people through caring and sharing our science-based proven methodology to advance individuals in health, wealth, fitness, and vitality. And by implementing the Transitions Lifestyle System, we commit to encouraging and inspiring those who are ready to maximize their human potential. I'm doing this tonight because I'm a living example of what can be, okay? I started way overweight and I needed to do something. I started with nutrition. I went to health and wellness. Then I went into what? Starting to lose weight or live the lifestyle based on changing habits, all right? And that's what I want you to remember here. Now, all of this led me to building wealth, okay? Now, 28 years I've been helping people with the Transitions Lifestyle System in one form or another in weight management and lifestyle changes. I want to talk to you about this, all right? I want to talk to you about wealth for a second. Now, in addition to valuable possessions as well as money, there are other things that are important to people because there are different degrees of wealth. Wealth in valuable possessions can be having more time or my time. It could be being able to make choices. It could be access to quality health care. It could be spending time, quality time with your family, or just afford some simple luxuries, because we don't all need to have craziness in our life with wealth, but wealth comes at different levels. So let's start thinking about things that what is it that we view or people measure to? Well, people that are comfortable in America today have a net worth of $1.4 million. Okay, that's after you put together everything that you own and take away everything that you owe, that you have $1.4 million left over. To be considered wealthy in America today, you have to have a net worth of $2.4 million or more. So again, a lot of people sometimes don't even know where their target is. So I'm hoping that this might help you get that target, because in these times, for people that have reached these comfortable levels financially, they're not in such a bind today because of the way things have gone with this pandemic that's going on. But there are options for creating income streams. And this is really where I want to take you, because now what's happened to me in understanding what my passion became from my own personal results, now exchanging time for money or a second job basically doesn't fit into my life. There's also something called business income. If you bought a business and everything after the expenses, you have a profitable income. You can earn interest from annuities. You can have a dividend income from stocks and funds that you may have. You might have a rental property after your expenses and what you have to pay based on the rent that you make. The difference would be a rental income. You can buy and sell things for a capital gains when the selling price exceeds the purchase price. Royalty income, if you are fortunate enough to have the talent to do acting or singing or putting yourself to be an author or a composer where you get paid every time that someone uses you, your likeness, or a patent of which, that's pretty cool too. But what I've learned about that changed my life about 35 years ago was something called residual income. And it really advanced itself when I learned how to become really good at creating residual income. And that's what I would recommend to you. I would recommend, if you've watched today about how wealth can convert to health and health convert to wealth, I want you to think about the company Market America. I want you to think that the fact that their product brokering and their internet marketing, that's what's really working today. The way people buy in the retail environment has moved online, and it's only going to get bigger. Okay, so you want to be a part of that if you want to be in distribution. Now, Market America offers a business model called the unfranchised business, and basically it's setting yourself up in an area that you can be passionate about, or providing to people a service or a specific product that you have had a great deal of excitement about, and they basically do the drop shipping for you. They do the inventory, they do the market research, they do everything that a traditional business has to do on their own. You're primarily partnering with them, and you have access to an amazing pay plan that is known as a management performance compensation plan, in which you can leverage your time to earn income based on products being sold to end consumers through your network of distribution. Now, again, this company is not new. This company is fresh. This company has evolved with the times. It's 28 years old currently. But let me give you some statistics on this unfranchised business. First and foremost, you need to know that its growth over the years has been consistent, with more than $9 billion in sales since we've started, and with more than $4.7 billion paid back to independent contractors who followed their passion, as I have. I've been with this company for 28 years, and basically working in environments that I have learned to love to help people to pay it forward. Well, anyway, thousands of unfranchised owners are now earning today anywhere from $300 to $3,600 a week. And today, more than 500 of the unfranchised owners have earned in excess of $1 million in commissions, some with multiple millions based on the duration that they've been in the business. But we're averaging 6 to 8 new $1 million earners each 6 months. Now, that's pretty interesting. And when you start thinking about that, you know, why couldn't it be you? And especially, is there room for more income in your life when you start thinking about this? Why wouldn't it be an option based on what you've done to help yourself as far as wellness and health is concerned? So we also know that people work 45 years and end up still working after 45 years, and that 95% of the people have worked their entire career so that 5% of the people can be successful. And it's not the fact that they wanted to fail. They just didn't have the right plan for themselves. And that's why you need to start thinking about ways that you can find another stream of income to get to those areas of financial security that you may have. What do you mean? An additional income. What would it mean to you and your family? Debt reduction, financial security. Potential tax advantages, mortgages, rent, car payments. Think about it. College funds, early retirement. Although in my life, I don't plan to ever retire because I am passionate about what I do. But ultimately, in 2 to 3 years, create a residual income. That's correct. You owe it to yourself to check that out. Now, when I talked about product brokerage, I'll tell you what, my wife Nancy and I, we specialize in health and nutrition, weight management, and age management, and we also work with health professionals. Now, we do 4 different things over time because it just added from one to the next, and people that we met had more things. But look at all these different options for you to get engaged with as far as an unfranchised business, and everybody should know you have access to all of these products plus more. And the most exciting thing about our brands is we know that we'll be in the next market-driven environment based on what's coming soon. And we're always staying on top of it with people. And it's really exciting to be there because it's the demands that people want. You see, we don't mass market. We actually match products to people and people to products. So the business is fundamentally solid and you're always in need. You establish a client base and you're on your way. So, in really summarizing all this, no matter whether it's health or whether it's wealth, if you don't try anything, then everything will stay the same. That's a guarantee you can take to the bank. But whether it's for health, whether it's for lifestyle, whether it's for weight loss, whether it's for creating residual income, you want to schedule a follow-up appointment for the person that shared this video with you. Try some of our products, register as a preferred customer, and earn cash back on our shopping sites. It's free. Why not take our free gift of cash back? And then it's something that we're interested in, always finding people that are looking for better ways to create residual income. We're not asking anybody to make a decision. What we are asking for people to basically test the waters, try it out. In fact, we'll work with you. And basically, we'll evaluate the business with you. We'll evaluate products with you because we want you to be sure that if you make the decision to work as an unfranchised owner, that you'll have a winning team around you for many years to come. Well, everything has been exciting for me during this journey, and especially in bringing this information to you. My belief is that health is wealth, and I believe that Market America, with all its great products, provides exactly what people are looking for in these days to come. Two things that everybody wants: health and wealth. Both are relevant, both are important, but I believe wealth is useless without your health. And if you're healthy, it's always nice to have a little bit of wealth. So with that, let me take a look and see if we have some specific questions that might have come up for us tonight. Let's see, would Canada get to activated B complex? We're working on that, working through our Health Canada, and our product people have been putting things through to see what is permitted, but that is something we'd love to provide. But again, every country doesn't have the same regulations that the United States does. Which isotonic supplements are best for controlling cholesterol and diabetic diagnosis? Well, I'm not a doctor, so I really can't give you that answer. You'd probably have to ask your health professional. However, but when you start talking about different things about healthy cholesterol levels, one thing that studies have been done to help people have healthy cholesterol levels, and that is primarily omega-3s. The OPC3s have also been indicated as getting healthy levels of cholesterol too. There are so many different things that are available, and I think you really have to take a look at it. If people have high blood sugar levels, to help you maintain, healthy blood sugar levels, it's diet first. Then you can take a look at some specific things, especially when you start thinking about specific products that we offer. Just ask the person that have invited you here. But there are some great science-based products that have done a great job for getting to healthy blood sugar levels. Let's see. Would Market America provide a cup for the trial size? Well, you as independent contractors have the ability to go to our promotional items on unfranchise.com and purchase your isotonic cups. And in fact, that's something I recommend strongly. This would be a cost of doing business. There are many costs as an independent contractor, and this would be one of them, in the way that you want to differentiate yourself from other businesses out on the market. Yeah, all right. What happened to the TLS protein shake? Good news. You are going to see an enhanced version of the TLS protein shake. We're going to include more for muscle repair and muscle building in that area. And you'll learn a lot more come International Convention on that. Omega-3 is for heart health. May I know, let's see, is a heart weak patient consume omega-3s? That's really, not for me to answer. That's for your health professional. Please understand that. It's important. Is TLS, transitions lifestyle, good for people that have high blood sugar levels or type 2 diabetics? Absolutely. Food. Eat the right foods. It'll make a big difference in your life. I recommend that you look to the tlsslim.com site. Look at continued commitment. There are a list of power foods there that if you stick to, you will be thrilled with your outcome. In fact, your health professional will be thrilled with that outcome. Would it be really nice to have the OPC in trial size? Let me say this to you. We talked about that. We've actually experienced it in a couple of our markets, and it did not work. And I'll tell you why it did not work. Because OPC is a product you take for life, and the decision is not made on a trial size. So what you want to do is have a sampling to allow people to taste the product, because that's really decision. Can they handle the taste of our OPC3? Because if they make it a commitment, that's what it's going to take to get the results. And I can tell you this, over the years of working with people and taking myself, when people stop taking the OPC3, here's a common response. For some reason, I don't feel the same. I need to get back to taking that purple stuff. So it's pretty funny on that. Okay, well, this is fun. I mean, really, I really appreciate all this input. Again, with all of these medical questions, I'm truly not qualified to provide that information, nor am I allowed to. I'm going to recommend that you get back to your health professional and speak to them. The nice thing is that Market America has a health professional program, and there are many health professionals that have used our products. Let's see, is the K2 effect of the thinning of the blood? No, the K2 is not K1, and you really should do your research. The K2 is the mineral that, or the vitamin that you can use because it actually works on the cardio system as well as the metabolism for calcium getting into your bones. And so that's really important. But that's a great question. Take a look at it. Have we looked into trial sizes for canapaquin? Well, let me say this to you. Absolutely, we have. We'd like to have everything in trial sizes, and it's really trying to make the right decisions on where we go. But I do want to say this. There are so many great things ahead. For those of you that are into health, and if you believe that good health can lead to wealth, I will tell you, in my life, paying forward my health has created a beautiful lifestyle for our family, and being affiliated and partnering with Market America has been probably the best decision in my life, other than my wife. And she's probably watching, so I have to say, Miss Nancy, thank you for being a part of my life. Okay, thank you everyone for joining in tonight. I wish you only the best of great health and wellness, and get to that, what? The 2.4 million, get it in the bank. Start getting those multiple streams of income working for you. Consider examining our unfranchised business. Have a great evening. Make it your best day.